Good morning everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bareham Engines. Before we start guys, we just want to encourage you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I see that quite a lot of people that watch our videos haven't, but if you haven't, please hit that. Hit the notification bell and you will be notified whenever we put up a video. Cheers guys. So we are going to start off today's video, guys, with the thumbnail and title. We've noticed in the comments that the last few videos, people have started to say, why are you spending so much money on these vehicles, the kit car, the E30? Why not put the money into machinery, modernising machinery? I noticed it the other day when I put about the Centronic over there, you know, buying a new head for it. Some of you guys said, well, why don't you just buy a new one? Why repair it? You know, it's 30 years old. So we're going to start from the beginning, really. But it means going back to the beginning of where Bareham Engines started. Bareham Engines started about 6.5 years ago. Before that, it was Bareham Engineering. And we were doing a lot more local repair garage work. We didn't have the work from away so much, so things have changed quite a lot for us in the last 6 years, and that is a lot to do with you guys. So within those last 6 years, obviously when we started Bareham Engines, when we bought the business off our old boss and changed it from Bareham Engineering, I've been advertising on Facebook. We then went on to become Cosworth specialists. We got Cosworths in via Facebook mainly, from you people that were following us before the channel. And then obviously we started the YouTube. Since we started the YouTube channel, obviously you guys now, we have nearly 40,000 subscribers, and you've got to understand a lot of our work now comes from away. It's the type of work we want. You guys are throwing work to us that we've always dreamed of doing. We don't so much rely on the Facebook and that anymore, and we are inundated with the work that we've always wanted to do, so we can only just thank you for that. We are in the fortunate position that we have worked really, really hard in the last 6 years up until the channel to get as much money into the business as we can, using the old equipment that we've got, taking advantage of as much work as possible to get that money behind us, to have that sort of leeway and that fallback on the money to buy equipment as and when we need it. But we're still not millionaires, guys. We are fortunate that we've not had to borrow anything. The machines we've got, we get a lot of comments off people saying, this machinery is ancient, why don't you just update it, spend the money on updating it, forget about all these cars and the toys, etc. But to be honest with you, we have repaired these machines, as any of you in the know have sort of worked in machine shops. You know, a lot of these old English machines are absolutely bulletproof. We are not doing production work. We are doing sort of small one-off batches of work. Or okay that we use the crank grinder, the boring bar quite a lot, and it is ancient. But to be honest with you, when you get to know these machines, they're as accurate as anything modern. These days, modern machines, very, very expensive, mainly sort of designed and priced accordingly to production work. You've got to understand this sort of trade here is a bit of a specialised market. It's not very, it's not sort of high batch work, and a lot of these machines, apart from the small amount of machines, don't get used as frequently as really they should do, or definitely as they need to be to pay off or warrant buying a new one. So our philosophy is, guys, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The machines we got, we can work within very, very tight tolerances, certainly as tight a tolerance as we need to in this game. Now, going on to the Centronic, yes, this is nearly a 30-year-old machine, but it is a very, very good machine. The head, up until now, until that button stopped working, has been very, very accurate. And we now could not be doing without it, especially with the performance side. If we can get it fixed, we could get it fixed. Obviously, this company that I was talking about said that they fixed 2 or 3 others. We thought, well, if we can get it fixed for sort of a third of the price of buying a new one, then that's what we'll do. If we have to buy a new one, fortunately, the funds are there. We can just go and buy one. So the money is there to invest in the business, guys. Don't think we're just wasting money we haven't got on toys when we should be buying new machinery. So why are we getting involved in these cars? Now, obviously, because we've only been going about a year and a half with a YouTube channel, as you all know, if you've watched our channel from the start, the channel is now a big fundamental part of our business. So not just from the work that comes from it, but from the advertising side, it's fantastic. Most of our work comes from that YouTube channel now. So from a business point of view, it's a massive advertising tool. So I can't praise it enough for that. So the time that I spend on the channel, the money that I put into the channel in whatever way is very, very important. So obviously the kit car, we started doing that about lockdown. That was before the channel really. So it was just that we've obviously been able to use this car and put it into a bit of footage. Now, most of the subscribers that we have on there, you guys, are obviously into the technical side of the business, the running of the business, etc., which is what we base the channel on. But obviously are planning not on changing it at all, because that is what we are. But we do want to sort of broaden maybe the sort of clientele that comes to the channel. That's why we're getting involved with the E30. Obviously, I watch a lot of channels. I sort of monitor people like Matt Armstrong and stuff like that when they get involved with these projects. Obviously, we're nothing like in Matt's league, but we don't even do the same sort of thing. We're not car YouTubers. We're running a business here, building engines, but we do find that people are very interested in this stuff. And since I've been doing this, the subscriber rate has been going up. So we're hoping that we are going to introduce more people into the channel, but certainly not change them. We love you guys, and we do everything for you. So that is the reason that we are starting this E30 project. Obviously, the money that we throw into this car is all for the channel. Just want to make you aware that we have got money tucked away for any sort of development and upgrading of the actual business. Another reason for doing the E30, guys, not only is it a project we want to take you from the beginning to the very end, get you involved, get your opinions, do stuff to the car that you guys say that you think we should. We do have the kit car, and obviously the main reason for getting these cars done is to get out and about, get to track days, get to meet some of you subscribers. That's why I always mention where we're going. The last time we went to Castle Combe, about 15 of you guys took your time out to come over and say hi to us. It was really good meeting you. It was about twice as much as the time before. So yeah, just goes to show how popular the channel is getting. The only thing is, although it does the job, the kit car, it's got our name on it. It's got our loud sort of orange themed livery on it. It sounds great. It's great fun on the track. And obviously it gives us the excuse to get to these tracks to come and meet you guys. There is one big downfall to this car. Now, we live in England. The weather's never that great, even in the summer, let alone all year round. And this car doesn't have a roof on it. So although it is great fun, a car like this, a kit car, is a car that you keep in the garage, you get out on a Sunday maybe, or do the odd track day when the weather is nice. As a business, we want to get out and about all year round. We want to do track days. We want to get to different tracks, different part of the world. This is only the beginning of the journey for us. Going to sort of Castle Combe and Perranporth is just the start of it. We're just sort of warming up, seeing what's involved, seeing what costs involved, seeing what interest we get off you guys, coming to visit us, etc. And obviously we're sort of just easing into doing these cars to see what interest we get on the channel. And so far it's proven positive. But as I say, it's going to be some time. We're going to be taking you guys on the journey of doing the E30 from the start to the end. The E30 is a passion of mine anyway, on the quiet, well, as you all know. So getting that car done to the spec that we want to do it, in the colours, etc., with the centre lock wheels, the BBS alloys and all that, just so excited about getting it done. And I just think with our name on the side, whenever we turn up at one of these track days, it's just going to make such a statement. Obviously, we're going to be getting involved with building the E36 M3 motor, which is what we do. So yeah, this car's got to be a real statement for us, but it is going to be some time. Although I'm very impatient, it's not going to be a 5-minute job. So in the meantime, the only way of getting out and about and meeting you guys, doing some track days, is with this kit car. But for the time being, it's going to be staying here at its home at Bareham Engines, and giving you guys the opportunity to come and meet us and see the car and maybe go out as a passenger. But yeah, that's the plan, guys. Right, so as you can see, we are fairly stripped here now. We have got most of the stuff out the bonnet. There's a few little bits to get out. You've got the fire extinguisher, a few little cables, etc. But most of the stuff is out, and this is ready for Mikey Dove next week, the end of next week, just before we go to Castle Combe. He's going to be having this, and he's going to be getting involved with bracing it, doing the chassis, putting the seals on, the front panel, etc. Getting it basically race prepared, ready for paint. So I am very, very excited about that. You can see here we've removed the windscreen the other day. There's a few little iffy bits down here and down in the corners, which I think is pretty much standard for the E30s. It's not too bad. It hasn't gone right into this front panel here, so I think that'll be easy sort outable. You can see there we've had a top-notch paint job in the white from the original Dolphin Grey. But yeah, we've just got to take the rest of the windows out. Now, I did tell you that these windows, obviously they're plastic, but these are the cheapy jobs and they're all scratched up. So we have ordered the thermoformed hardened plastic windows, which look identical to the original glass, got the same curvatures, and they are hardened. We've got the front tinted E30 screen that is heated. We've got that coming on the way. Obviously that's going to be connected up, so we've got the heated screen because we're going to have no heaters on the screen. Right, the rear window, and it's the same as the front window, although this is plastic. The guy from the window place, we sort of rang him up and said, would you be able to come and remove our windscreen? He said, I wouldn't bother getting me out, to be honest with you. On the quiet, it's fairly easy to break into an E30. And he said, what you do, in these seals, there's a plastic insert in the middle of the rubber seal. He said, lever that out. So we're going to try it here. He said, pull that insert out, which we are doing now, guys. This is not one we've made earlier. This is literally, you can see there's the front ones. We'll lever this rear one out here. And he said, if you get the sort of suckers, that window will just pull right out of there. And I believe him. So I think if we just got the screwdriver in here, oh look, he's right. Not that difficult to break into an E30. Bloody hell, that's ridiculous. It's a bit like the old double glazing windows where they've got the beading on the outside. Very, very intelligent that is. Obviously, then all the new stuff's got the beading on the inside, so you can't pull the beading out, take the window out and break into the house. But there we go, guys. That was fairly simple. All we've got to do now is just pull this seal out, look. And that is it. That's how you get into an E30. Not that I'm advertising the fact that you can break into one easy enough, I'm just saying. But there we go. That is out, and that is all looking pretty good there, to be honest with you. Although, see a little bit there, but although this is all going to be covered because we have got the sort of slanted rear window pod that goes onto the back, that all bonds on, and that brings the window, the bottom of the window out to about here and gives you more of a rake on more of an angle on the rear window. It's a different rear window. We've got that coming in the thermoformed and hardened as well, but it's a bonding type with the E30 M3, so it's slightly different. We've decided, guys, all this here we're going to keep because obviously we're going to have a fuel tank in the back here. So I think if we ever decide to do a race in this car, You need this in as a bit of a firewall, a separation from the fuel tank and the driver, obviously. So all we're going to be doing is probably a bit more bracing from the strut tops at the back, relocation of the swirl pots and what have you. We're going to have one of those purpose-built sort of fuel tanks in the spare wheel well with a bit of luck. See what Mikey says at the end of the day. But yeah, it's all getting there. Now it's at this state, to be honest with you, and I've got the centre lock hubs and everything and the wheels sorted. I'm more than happy. I have been trying my hardest to deal with several people regarding parts for this car. People like High Spec Brakes and what have you, who, when you get to speak to them, very, very helpful. But when you get to speak to them, it is an absolute nightmare. I don't know whether any of you have dealt with them, but just trying to get hold of them is a nightmare. So I spoke to Scott at SG Motorsport. Now, Scott is the one that we did the V6 Renault. He's the V6 Renault Clio specialist. I told him about my problems, trying to deal with several different people regarding parts for this, and they all seem to be the same. It's just trying to get hold of them. They don't seem to want to sell you anything. And he said, forget that, go to Comp Brake, a company called Comp Brake. He said they've got loads of stuff there. They're very, very helpful. They already do a big brake kit for the E30, front and rear. They do the rear disc with the drum, so you've got the original handbrake, and it's a 320mm disc on the back with a 4-pot caliper, 6 pots on the front, 330 diameter on the front with a 32mm thick disc, which is more than adequate on the front. I was a bit, although we were going to run 350s on the front, that was with the Compomotive wheel. But the 330s, this is going to be a light car, guys. That's going to be more than adequate. So anyway, I give them a ring last week. Straight away, he's given me 20% off because I said, obviously, I've got a YouTube channel and that. So absolutely over the moon with them. Very helpful. They do loads of different bits. They do pedal boxes, fuel tanks, all the rest of it. So I said, once Mikey's had this car, we're going to be giving them a bout and we could be getting some new bits off them, you know, some new funky bits for inside. So yeah. Can't emphasize enough, guys, if you need anything like that for track stuff, brakes, etc., Comp Brake are your people. Well, thank you very much, guys, for watching yet another one of our videos. Hope that clarifies everything up with regards to doing these cars and the business as we are at the moment. But until another video, guys, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we will see you in Wednesday's video. Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.